Okay, so we all have a bag of Shakeology. And so why do we need to drink it every day? Why am I really pushing it? And is it really that necessary? Is it necessary to lose weight with it? Why do we need to drink it? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. First off, I want to just make sure you guys know, I will never say that you have to drink Shakeology to lose weight, because you don't. Losing weight is the result of good nutrition and exercise and pretty much expending more calories than you're taking in. That's what losing weight is. And so you're never going to hear me say that if you want to lose weight, you need to drink Shakeology. I will say that it helps support it. In my story, my first challenge I did, I lost weight. I lost 7 pounds. And then my next challenge, and I didn't use Shakeology in my first challenge because I couldn't afford it yet and I was saving up. So my next challenge, I added it in, and I was actually able to lose a little more weight, but I had a lot more energy that time. And my diet, because in my first 21-day challenge, doing the 21-day fix, I followed my containers really, really closely. And my energy levels did shoot up, but I also found that I was still craving things and I was still hungry by the end of the day. And so I was really committed to the challenge, and so I stuck through it and I was able to make it through, besides a couple days with weak moments. But my second challenge, when I added Shakeology in, I found that my sweet tooth cravings really were curbed. Not that I still didn't want chocolate here and there or whatnot, but so my other eating hadn't really changed, but I had added Shakeology in. And I actually liked doing it this way so I could see the difference, because I was a huge skeptic of Shakeology at first, and I just thought it was a scam and a waste of money, to be honest, until I started researching other products on the market and really what was in Shakeology. So anyway, so my second time I used Shakeology, and I had more energy on top of what I had gained from before. I had less cravings, and I just felt, I don't know, something was different. I just had a lot more energy. I was not getting any sleep still because Gavin wakes up all the time. And yeah, so that's why I have continued to drink it. The other thing that I probably wouldn't normally tell people, but I'll tell you guys, after having kids, put a lot of stress on your body, especially after having 4 kids. And so I didn't even know what these were, but after having each kid, I struggled with having hemorrhoids. And the first 3 struggled for a long time. They're really painful. Not going to go into it because they're not a fun subject to talk about. But after having Gavin, I had the same problem. And it wasn't until I started drinking Shakeology that they completely went away, and I haven't dealt with them since. And that was 4 months. I started drinking it around 3 months after having him, and they were gone in a couple weeks. And normally, the problem lasted until about 7 to 9 months, even up to 11 months after the first 3. So for me, it's been a huge game changer for my health, and that's why I drink it every day. The few days that I forget to, every once in a while I'll have a day I just get busy and I forget to, I can feel a difference. And yeah, so that's my story. But I just want to tell you guys a little bit more about the ingredients, and I really encourage you to do your own research on them. Look on the back of your bag and look up the ingredients that are in there, and I think you'll be surprised what they do for you. And yeah, so really drinking Shakeology, it's not just a protein powder. I would call it like a nutritional powder. And fun fact, sometimes we think of powders as being highly processed, highly synthetic, not good for you. And there are a ton of protein powders out there that have a ton of fillers, a ton of additives, things that are just not natural, not good for your body at all. And so I would be very careful about, do your research, be very careful about what you're putting in your body and how they're being made. With Shakeology, they're taken from whole foods. They're cold processed, which is really important because when you process a food or you cook it at high heat, you lose a lot of the vitamins and nutrients right away. So the foods that are in Shakeology are cold processed and slowly dehydrated. And the dehydration process, if you look that up and you start researching it more, if it's done right and it's done slowly, you can retain up to 90% of the natural vitamins and minerals in that food. And so that's what the makers of Shakeology have really stuck to their guns about, and that's how they make Shakeology. So it's these whole foods, slowly dehydrated, not processed with heat, and then pretty much ground up into a powder. So that's why it's in powder form, and that's why you have it in a bag. Because that really got me wondering about it at first. I'm like, well, it's a powder. How can that be good for you? But that's why. So it's the ingredients in Shakeology that are so good for you and so good for your health that's why it's important to drink every day, because it's a compound effect. So just like disease is built up over time, health is built up over time as well. And a huge part of our health is our nutrition, especially in our gut. I don't know if you guys have read much about just your gut health and how much that affects everything else, and just how inflammation in your gut can affect so many different things in your body and your hormones, and just, it's really interesting. So I would recommend reading more on that if you can. So just real quick, the reason why I encourage you guys to drink this every single day through this challenge, because there's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you hate it, then we'll send it back and I will help you with that. But you're not going to feel the full benefits or effects unless you're drinking it every day. It's just like if you were taking a medicine that you're supposed to take every single day and you took it once a week, you're probably not going to feel the effect of it. And Shakeology is just a part of adding good nutrition and a variety of nutrition that you don't normally get in your diet into your diet. So it's not, yes, it's a supplement, but they're whole foods, just dehydrated, ground up, put in a bag. And so it's just adding a whole food nutritional supplement in your diet to help. So you have phytonutrients, you have antioxidants, you have probiotics and digestive enzyme blends, prebiotics and adaptogen blends of different foods. And so real quick, I'm just going to go through a couple of the things that are really important, why, especially the first 5 days. I really want you to drink it at least 4 or 5 days in a row, because if you think of it as like your gut being like a greasy pipe, you've got to clean all the stuff out. The ingredients in here will help flush your gut if you drink it every single day. So I really, really encourage you to do that, not because I want you to buy another bag afterward or something. I don't care if you ever buy another bag. I mean, I hope that you find it helpful for you and that it helps you feel better and that you notice a difference in your health. But I'm just encouraging you because I've seen such a difference in my health that I want you guys to feel the same difference. Okay, so then adaptogens. I don't know if you guys know much about adaptogens. I didn't until I started researching these ingredients and what were in the back. But you have like maca root and cordyceps and astragalus. And our body goes through so many stresses in the day. And just by how we feed our bodies with processed foods, or we overeat, or not getting enough sleep, there's so many different things that we add stress to our body. And so these adaptogen herbs, they're herbs that and plants that grow in areas in high stress environments, and so they adapt to that. That's where you get the word adaptogen. And so they're really shown to help our body adapt to the stress that it's under in our daily lives. The probiotics in Shakeology, I think, are so neat. It's actually a spore, and I don't know if you've read much about probiotics, but a lot of times once they get into the acidic environment in the stomach, a lot of times they die. They don't actually make it into the small intestines or into the intestinal tract, that's where we really need them. And so the probiotic that's in Shakeology is actually a spore, and it's shown to be able to survive the acidity in the stomach. And so when it passes into the small intestine, then it's able to grow and help produce that healthy flora and that good bacteria in your intestine system. And so it's just really, I would suggest looking it up and doing some research on it because it's really cool. And it's also can survive in high temperature. So a lot of probiotics need to be refrigerated for their shelf life because they're very volatile and they'll die otherwise. They don't have a long shelf life, but since the probiotic in Shakeology is a spore, it actually has a very long shelf life. So that's really cool. Let's see, the other couple things I wanted to point out were the phytonutrients. So you'll see back here, and every bag has these so you guys can look. But phytonutrients are so important to our health too. They help our bodies, it supports our health. But like chlorella, for example, it can help detox heavy metals from your body, which is really important. It's rich in vitamin A, B2, I think, if I remember, iron and zinc as well. And so you get all of this in one serving each day. And at least for me, I know that I don't get that stuff in my normal diet, probably rarely. And so I think that's why I've noticed such a difference in my energy levels, especially. I really can't tell you guys, and it's not just from Shakeology. I mean, I've noticed a huge difference since I added that into my diet. But that's just why eating right and eating good foods is so important. You will feel a difference when you start eating raw vegetables, just a clean diet, lean proteins, and you're eating the right amount of fruits each day. When you add all that in and you start creating a better diet for yourself, because it's not just 21 days, it's about creating health. And so that's long term. And so if you have to make little changes here and there to make it sustainable, do that. For me, that's why I drink Shakeology every day, because it has helped in so many ways in that aspect. And it's just in addition to my diet. I don't take vitamins anymore, any prenatals. I used to even take whole foods based, like natural prenatals. And to be honest, I never really felt a difference when I took them and if I didn't. And they probably were still helping me in some way, but I just never really felt a difference. So when I started feeling the difference drinking Shakeology, knowing that it's made from whole foods, I feel good about taking that, and it's worth it to me since I can see the difference in my health. So that's just why I want you guys to, for our 21-day challenge, to try to drink it every single day. Even if you miss a workout one day, this is still part of eating well and adding to your health. Okay, so if you have questions, let me know. I know this is long, but I also wanted to show you real quick how, if it hasn't melted, how